job, Shannon.
Sorry, I just realized you couldn't see the top of my head from where I was sitting, so I was gathering some pillows.
Oh my God, that could have been great, though. Just like a strong cutoff, only eyes.
Yeah, it would just be my middle part. Hello.
I love your middle part. I have a middle part, too.
Wow, we're not... What is it? Isn't it like millennials don't have middle parts, they have side parts?
Yeah, I saw that, or I thought, like, is it millennials or people older than that? I just know that side parts are old.
They're not in. They're not cool.
They're not hip.
Apparently.
Unless I feel like if you're referencing the 80s, like, this still feels like a strong move, you know?
Honestly, do whatever you want.
But, like, I will say that, like, a straight side swipe of bangs is upsetting. To me personally.
Yeah, it feels very MySpace.
Yes, that's what it is.
How are you?
I'm so good. For those of you guys watching, me and Shannon are friends. We're buddies, and we almost have made music videos together. She's a photographer and a director, and also you print your own photography on your clothes. You hand print your photography. What else? You're an actor too, right?
I did do that. Well, no, definitely not. I was in something once, but I would not. I wouldn't put that on my list. But listen, my manager probably would be like,
"You haven't."
I've acted once,
so you did it.
Okay. One time.
Honestly, if you've ever been in anything that can be listed on IMDb, like, you're Oscar ready, you know?
That's so nice. I appreciate that.
I do feel like you do a million things, though. Did I leave anything out?
I have a YouTube channel, but I haven't done anything with it in a year, so I'm sure people would like me to, but it's almost like, I think it's almost been a year anniversary since my last video. But like, quarantine, like, I'm like, what? I don't have anything. This pandemic is such a situation for me personally.
Interesting. I feel like this pandemic has made me feel more like talking about the banal is acceptable. But I love that for you. Was that sort of like a conscious choice to take a break from it?
No, it's like the complete opposite. I made a video a year ago being like, I'm going to make a lot more videos. And then it was the last video I made. But I made a lot of other videos like that weren't for me. And that's kind of what happened.
Nice.
And that brought me like a lot of joy. And it was like, I was feeling more inspired to do that than I was to like sit around and be like, this is what I'm doing in a pandemic. Like, I felt like it was like, I needed an escape from that situation. And I felt like most YouTube channels and everything was like, this is what you could do, or you could do this, or like, this is what I'm cooking. And I'm like, I appreciated watching it, but I was just like, I don't want to add to that noise. Like, it's not making me feel, I didn't feel inspired to do that. But I did feel inspired to like create like an escapism from it and make other videos. So that was fun.
You're a talented director and conceptor, and that's exciting. And I get the wanting to like take the spotlight off of your own experience a little bit. Not only did 2020 like teach us that it's really important to like give the mic to other people, you know what I mean? Black Lives Matter. But also I feel like just as an artist or anybody whose like work is built on output all the time, like even this interview series has like really lit me up because I'm like, other people have stuff to say too, and it's exciting to shine a light on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we get into the cues?
Ask me whatever you want.
Oh shit, I'm gonna get crazy. JK, it's the same questions every week.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, who is your favorite historical female figure?
Oh my gosh. What a big question. Who is? I mean, I want to say my grandma, but I don't think that necessarily counts.
Oh, I like that though. I appreciate that. Is your grandma still with us?
No, she's not.
Okay, so she made history.
She is history now.
Well, since we can't Google her, what about your grandma?
She just was like the most empathetic, like nicest human being, like made everyone feel special, and I just aspire to be like her. So she's just such a cool lady, like, and just lived in like this small town, like nothing was really happening, and like when she passed away, they like built a bench about her, and like it's just, I mean, it's just by the baseball field, like it's not like she's from Pennsylvania, like this little steel town, and like whatever, but I'm just like, she made a mark in her little space, and I'm like aspired to be like her in
That's amazing.
My own ways. But
you've definitely already earned yourself like a whole church pew, you know what I mean? Like by by, I
Thank
don't
you.
know, a hockey rink. I don't know sports.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think
Yes.
that was a demotion, actually. I'm sorry.
No, but I'll take it. I'll take any sitting area when I pass away. Please construct that for me.
Okay, cool. I actually like sitting areas are really emotional. My dad taught me when I was little that when you pass a bench that's dedicated to someone, you have to sit on it for 20 seconds to honor them. So,
That's really sweet.
yeah,
I
if
love
I ever
that.
pass your grandma's bench, I will sit
Please
on
sit
it.
on it. Thank you.
Yes. Um, but I also kind of want to hold you to this question and make you think of a famous person that's died.
Okay.
Can you recall anyone? I also go blank with facts, so it's okay if you really
I
don't know.
know. I really do. I really do. Maybe like this. Maybe this is controversial, but like Marilyn Monroe, I just think that iconic, just iconic, and
I
I love
almost
that she like
listed her. Yeah.
really. I love that she like owned her sexuality in a time when like, and not like queer sexuality, but like just being like a sexual human being in a time when like women weren't really like allowed to. Um,
Absolutely.
I think that's dope. And I feel like that's what so many people are trying to do now in like different ways. But yeah, she's definitely like a trailblazer for,
Yes. She was definitely ahead of her time. People think of her as this icon of like femininity. Like some of her most celebrated quotes are like, it's a man's world, I'm just living in it. But that's
yeah,
like fucking entrepreneurial. She was like, I see what the world is and I want to be a success. And she created an image, like a branded image with the way she did her makeup and her hair. And yeah, she was incredibly sexual for the time. And also
yeah,
has like a lot of queer leaning, like kitschy pinup-y photo shoots of her like working out and stuff.
love that. We love her.
The one thing about her that gets me though is that like people are like, she's so fucking curvy, curviest woman in the world. She's like a
Not.
size 6 still.
Yeah, literally.
we're
So
here for
real.
we're here for sizes.
Yes.
What is one challenge you've had to overcome in your industry?
Huh. Um, that's an interesting question because it depends on what industry we're talking about, and I'm not really sure where I am. I feel like maybe like there's maybe like an idea of like a YouTuber and like what a YouTuber is, and I think maybe like you can feel like branded by that in a way that's like you feel less legitimate in some way. But that's also changed a lot. It's like interesting because when I moved to LA, I moved here because I was like really doing YouTube and it was successful and whatever. And I remember being like in Uber rides and I'd be like, oh, I'm a YouTuber. And I remember like all the drivers would always be like, you can like live off of that. And I would be like, I guess, I don't know. Yeah. And now I get in Ubers. I mean, now I would never say that because I learned don't really say what you do.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a student. Like
You're
I
like,
don't,
just really busy and on a call. Please get
yeah,
me there safely.
I'm like, I can't get into this. But, you know, years pass and I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm like a YouTuber. And then it totally flipped and they'd be like, oh my God, can I give you my card? So, like, YouTube has had like such a trajectory of like a different situation of like people not understanding it and then people being like, oh, you can definitely make money off of YouTube. And I also want to make money off of your YouTube. And like, will you put this on your Twitter? You know, it's like, oh gosh, am I here?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Did I lose? Did you lose me?
You left
Okay,
for a
I got
very
like a weird
brief moment.
notification.
It was fleeting.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. But yeah, I feel like if I've had any issue, it would be like with that and how YouTube has changed and like how people view you as someone who is a creator on that platform.
yeah, I mean, that's so cool. You're a troubadour in your own industry and world, like Marilyn Monroe. I mean, you know what I'm saying. But like the internet is crazy, and anybody who took advantage of it or naturally was gravitated toward it early, yeah, the whole world is so envious of that at this point. They're like, oh my God, that's real. Same thing with
Yeah,
TikTok, etc. So I
so
think
true.
that's super cool that you just like had a new way to change the world. Name a woman who has had a big influence on you?
Oh God. I mean, there's so many. I feel like I'm like surrounded by women, especially in LA. Like I moved here. What is happening? My phone keeps like going black. Okay, can you
Oh
hear me?
no,
I'm nervous. Okay, I'm gonna
you're like
hold
a
it.
little frozen. Don't be nervous.
Um,
Like to everyone watching, this is the internet. It's fragile. Like just be patient with us.
yeah, it's so weird. Anyway, I feel like since I moved to LA from I went to school in Oklahoma, and like I'm from Dallas, Texas. And when I came out here, like I just immediately surrounded myself with like a lot of queer women, and I've continued to do that. And I feel like it would be a disservice to all the women in my life to just say one woman has had the biggest impact on me, because it's just like it's everyone. There's so many. And yeah, I don't know. Obviously also my mom, because I'm sure she would be offended if I didn't say her. But yeah, just like all the queer women that I've met in Los Angeles, and like the way that they've taught me how to like love myself. I feel like I talked a big game before I got here, that I was like, oh, I'm so fine with who I am, and like I'm so comfortable in my skin. But like at the end of the day, I was still really like struggling with like being confident. And then once I got here and I was around so many other people like me, it like really changed my life. And I just was like, oh, actually, truly, now what I'm saying, I actually believe it, you know?
Yeah, that's beautiful. I feel like that saying the queer female community totally counts, because they are sort of like one gigantic being, that just like knowing that that community exists can make you feel so much safer in the world. And like seeing yourself in other people, I feel that way too. I'm so glad that LA was so kind to you too. I think there's such a stigma about LA being, I just moved there in the pandemic, and you know, like for the last 10 years of me living in New York, everyone was like, LA is so fake. Fuck LA. Like, sorry, I'm cursing. It's my page, so I can curse.
You can do whatever you want.
But like, don't go there. Everybody's so superficial, and like New York is real. And be real, like New York is where I grew up. Like that's my home for sure. I would never hate on New York. But LA is totally about who you know. And that sounds spooky because you have to be able to meet people, but also there are lots of good people there, and it can be a really homey, cozy like environment to meet very real people who champion you, I found.
Definitely.
Best advice you've ever received, or advice you'd give to your younger self, or your life's motto. I lumped all these together because I feel like they kind of beget the same answer, or whatever. You can answer it however you want. Life's motto, advice to your younger self, or best advice.
Okay. Well, my whole YouTube channel is really dedicated to my younger self. So if you ever wanted to know what I wanted to say to myself, you could just watch that, because definitely the whole thing. Yeah, yeah. Just watch all of that. But yeah, that was definitely all of my YouTube stuff has always been like, because I didn't have that voice, and so I created it basically for myself, but obviously it resonated with other people, which is really nice. But like quote, my dad always told me to be intolerant to intolerance. So I feel like now more than ever, that's really important as well. So yeah, just to be intolerant to intolerance. That would be my quote.
It's so lucky to have good advice from your parents. Like that's a really good one. Go dad.
Yeah, I know. We
great. Also stand good dads on this page.
We do.
My dad's advice to me was cross that bridge when you come to it, which is also really good. I feel like I like stress so much in my life. I try to control everything ahead of time. And that's just like so simple. And I can always see him saying it. Like it's so nice to have good older people in your life who have advice for you.
So true.
Okay, this one's like really serious. I don't know if you're ready to go here, but salty or sweet?
I was like, this is either going to be very serious or they're joking with me right now. I'm like,
you did a great job. Don't worry, you correct yourself immediately. Thank you. That is an example of a kind thing to do. We love it. It's okay to make mistakes.
Working. Okay, I'm salty.
Always. You are salty. I love this question because sometimes people answer it in a personality way, and sometimes people choose what they want to eat. So which way did you just answer that?
Definitely food. I'm more of a salty food person. I would say I'm a sweet personality person. Salty I think
food. That's like definitely what you give off, but I thought you were just like revealing a first look at the fact that you're actually really nasty.
Imagine. No, I think I'm sweet. I definitely can be salty as a personality as well, but
I mean, that's sweet. Necessary, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm also salty. It's a trick question. It's a trap. All of my fans know that I love salty. So now that I know we're on the same page, what is amongst your favorite salty snacks?
I'm a sucker for just like a potato chip, specifically like a hot Cheetos. Definitely a vibe for me. My favorite food is like penne alla vodka. So
okay,
it's pretty salty, but it's not really a snack. It's more of a meal.
That's fine. But all food is snacks to me. I just eat throughout the day. So
okay, good.
That was a great answer. I feel rejuvenated by that answer, and we're about halfway through the interview, so that was great. Thank you.
Perfect.
Hot Cheetos, shout out, sponsor both of us. What makes you feel empowered, strong, and confident?
Oh man. That's such a great question. Congrats on your song, Confident, by the way, and the
Thank you.
video.
You know this is a plug.
Congrats. It all looks amazing.
Thank you. Our mutual friend Katya, who like works with Shannon a lot, directed that video, and it turned out so great. So it was a win for all of us.
You are a wonderful dancer. I could not in a million years do any of that. But
Thank you. It was really like empowering for me to put that into something because I have never like found a way for that side of my dance life to come into my music. And I was like, I gotta write more songs I can be slutty to. This feels so good.
Oh my God, so real.
Okay, back to you.
Yeah, okay, well, I will say dancing does not make me feel confident.
Cool.
Because I am very bad at it. I feel like I feel most confident when I like put something out and it's received by a lot of people. Like I don't know. I don't even know how to explain this because it's gonna sound really stupid. Like not necessarily like, oh, when I tweet something and a bunch of people are like, yeah, I feel the same way. But like sort of like everything I've done with social media, like when I put out a message and it's received by a lot of people in a way that they're like, oh my God, I feel seen, is when I feel the most confident. Because I'm like, oh my God, I like was anxious to say that or put that out there. And now I know that I'm not alone. And now I feel more confident in whatever it is. Like, and it's a lot of different things, like whether it's talking about mental health or it's talking about like my sexuality, whatever. That's when I feel the most, I guess when you like see yourself in a mirror of other people is when I feel most confident.
Which takes sharing, which is so scary, but like it's cool that your life has brought you to a place where sharing has often enough begat being seen or feeling connected to people. That's cool.
Definitely a unique experience.
I don't know about you. I feel like this probably happens to you a lot, but I get a lot of messages from people being like, how do I come out? Or how do I tell my truth to my family? Or how do I be like more confident in who I am? And it's like, it's really just, you have to take the risk of putting it out there.
Yeah. For like the longest time, I think my Instagram bio said like, people will surprise you. And I don't remember why I took it out, but I did at some point. But because where I grew up and like going to school in Oklahoma, like I was definitely surrounded by a lot of conservative people. And I always say like, you know, I waited a long time to come out, like basically all the way to my senior year. And I didn't give people the chance to be there for me. Like I convinced myself that they wouldn't. And so I just didn't ever say anything. And then finally I did. And I'm like, people will surprise you. Like you have the ability, like if you don't give someone the chance, you'll never know.
That's so good. It's also funny that you say you waited a long time because I didn't even sort of know I was gay until I met someone I loved my first year of college. So now this makes me wonder, how long did you hold on to knowing? I'm envious that you knew so young.
Yeah, I had like an experience in high school where I kind of fell in love with my best friend.
Right.
And the feeling was mutual, I'm pretty sure at the time. But
hey, shout out whoever that person is from the past, the one that got away.
Oh yeah, except for then her parents put like a baby monitor in her room and like outed me to my parents, and then my parents were like, "Oh, are you gay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not, definitely not gay." And then I went to school in Oklahoma. I joined a sorority, and I was like, gonna meet my Prince Charming. And then I was like, "Oh my God, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm surrounded by like hundreds of hot girls."
Hotties.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a really similar story actually. I was like, I wouldn't say I was in love, but I was definitely attracted to a best friend in high school, and we would hang out at my house and like do naughty things. I didn't even cross my mind that I was gay. I was just like, who cares, trying stuff. And my parents even my church, I also come from a pretty small town, my church sent an anonymous letter to my dad with photos of us on MySpace that were literally just like the scene kid thing at the time, that were like, we're in a photo together, love you, bestie. And my dad called me down from hanging out with that friend and said, are you gay? Because if you're gay, it's okay.
Oh my gosh, that's
and
nice.
I was like, Dad,
you're like,
absolutely
no.
Not. And I truly believed it until I like fell in love when I went to college.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it's good to know. It's good to know that they will surprise you because people love you. People in your life love you, and they'll get with your reality if you just share it with them, you know? And if they really don't, then like, kind of fuck them.
Yeah. I mean, the queer community is a family in and of itself, so.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, that was a really great answer. What is your most prized possession?
Oh my gosh, this is so funny because I was looking at your Instagram to see like kind of like what your other interviews had been like, and I think you have like I don't know, like I don't even understand Instagram anymore. It's so fucking weird to me. But you had a highlight of someone talking about a ring
Yes.
or whatever. What I don't know, a highlight. Oh my God, it sounds so old. Let's
Yeah,
move on.
whatever it is.
Anyway,
There was a clip. Who knows
yeah,
what it's
yeah.
called?
And I was like, oh my gosh, if they ask me this question, this is so awkward because this is like my answer as well. But a little different. I always wore a ring of my grandma's on my ring finger. I have like a tattoo on it, like an awful
Oh yeah.
stick and poke tattoo, but memories. But it used to be hidden all the time because the ring was like perfectly big enough to cover it. Last year I lost the ring in the ocean and it was a very traumatic experience. And I hired like two different metal detector guys to come out and try to find it. I was like desperately trying to find this ring and I cried and whatever. But I think it was like my only thing that I had any like worth or like importance to, right? And I feel like for me, it was really sad. Obviously, cried a lot, but like I think it was just like a sign that like there's like nothing in the world that means more than like the actual person or people in your life. Like I can't afford to give anything that much weight ever again. And I don't intend to. So I feel like, yeah, my most prized possessions are human beings and not anything. Like I could lose everything that I have and I'll be fine.
That's so beautiful. Wow. So if Nine Lives teaches anybody anything, it's just like don't give a fuck about your jewelry. You will lose it.
Yeah, that's the
No,
lesson from this
that is
series.
such an important thing though to like I don't know, I feel like I'm almost too good at this, like letting stuff go when I fuck it up or like just knowing that you can't be too attached to anything, even just like songs or things that I like have put my heart into, like somehow the hard
Yeah,
drive disappears or something. Like
yeah,
really you can't imbue too much significance into any physical thing. It's so real.
totally.
I love that you have a shitty tattoo about it though. You can tattoo your body for life.
Yes, yes, I'll never lose that unless
Do you
I
have a lot
get.
of tattoos?
No, I only have three like very small tattoos, and two of them are about my grandma. So like I am too obsessed with my grandma. Like I have to chill a little bit about it. I was trying to think of another tattoo the other day, and I was like, there's a problem because everything is like coming back to my grandma, and this is just too weird now. Like I my obsession.
No, I
But
love
yeah,
it. She's your own. Like some people spend their lives being obsessed with Katherine Hepburn, me,
yeah,
or somebody who has died who was an icon to them. That's so cool that it's somebody in your family who like you definitely carry ancestral like trauma and magic from whatever. That's really cool that you feel so connected to her.
yeah. Funny though. Yeah. So I have three tattoos. I have this one. I have my grandma's name on my wrist because it's June. And when I got it, my stepsister literally texted me. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so cool! Did you get it for Pride Month?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, oh my
That's
God,
so funny.
I'm so gay that that's what she thinks." And then I just got a tattoo for like my family because there's four of us, me, my mom, my dad, and my sister. And then I've had a lot of step siblings and a lot of step situations because my parents have been remarried a couple of times. And I love all of them. But I just got this four because I'm like, at the end of the day, like I have this like core group of people. And like my mom and my dad both had cancer in 2019. But like they're both fine and everything's fine. But like my mom, like picked my dad up after he had his like surgery on his ear and like he stayed with my mom and like they're divorced. They've been divorced since I was 10, but like we're all there for each other still. So it was just
That's
to like
really cool.
signify that. Yeah.
My parents have also both had cancer and are
Oh,
also
really?
they still work together as parents. Yeah,
That's so
that's cool.
cool. We have
Yeah.
too many similarities. We should talk not on Instagram Live
Yeah, we
sometime.
should have a real chat. It's so cool. I love structured questions and structured games though, because this would never come up, you know?
Yeah, I agree
A
completely.
lot of my friends absolutely abhor games, but I think that you always end up somewhere you didn't think you were going.
Oh my God, I'm a gamer through and through.
You're a gamer? Like what? I
No,
don't
not
play
like
any actual games. No, you just like
not
games?
like yeah, my mom's like obsessed with like board games and stuff. So I've grown up like sitting around a table playing games. I love them.
So is that like your ideal celebration, like a board game and wine night type of thing?
Yes, I would say that usually, but now because of the pandemic, I would really love to go to like a bar and dance awfully, you know? Like
Yes,
usually I'd be like, "Oh, I love the board game night," but like I've done it a lot now. So
you are craving an actual night out.
I would love to
Well,
leave my house.
if you feel like risking your life, I'm in Miami and people are dancing.
I don't feel like
um,
risking my life, but
don't do it. It's not great. Don't do it. But I am in a show that's safely distanced, and you can come see it if you feel like risking your life in the streets of Miami.
there you go.
Um, what is one thing everyone could do to make the world a better place?
Mm, have more empathy, just like in general. I feel like we are so divided right now in so many ways, especially just with, I mean, obviously politics and like just I just don't I feel like we're never gonna get to a place again where we can see and understand each other unless people can be more empathetic and like have conversations where you're like actually earnestly trying to teach someone something or like share your experience because right now it's just so much of like this is what's right, this is what's right, we're never going to agree with each other. And like, obviously, at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that I truly believe are wrong and I don't agree with people's opinions, but just yelling into the void and like yelling at those people and being like, you're wrong, I'm right. You're never going to get anywhere with that. So I think just being more empathetic. And if both sides could be more empathetic, hopefully we could come to some kind of like understanding of like how the world could be a better place for both of us,
Yeah,
you know?
I totally feel that, especially being like involved in social media. There is actually like algorithms that work to show you what you want to see and to also make you excited when you see division break out. You know, cancel culture is like super unhelpful. Like even though I'm incredibly like, I don't know, I'm dedicated to work against sexual violence and inclusion of LGBT people. I do feel like we're not having enough conversations with the people who are getting it wrong. We're not teaching anybody how to talk about consent. We're just talking to ourselves with people who agree that the other guys are bad. And I feel like that empathy also like requires going outside of your bubble and trying to find a way to actually learn something or have an actual uncomfortable conversation. And it's hard because so much of it is like on a platform where people are watching. So people get defensive before they're willing to make mistakes.
Totally. I mean, we've all been trapped inside of our own homes where we're literally talking to people who do agree with us also. Like, we're not going anywhere to face these things head on. It's all through social media or like mostly or the news. And like, I think that that's created this like an even more intense like belief in your own ideas. It's crazy. Not forget about politics even like just not talking to different people about like any life experience. We're just talking to each other and like getting the same thing like revert like back to us with our people, you know, like our how many people are in your bubble of people that you're really seeing and talking to? Not many. So you're just not getting like challenged the way that we normally would be for a whole year of your life. So we're all like, oh, now we feel even more right about the things that we're right about. You
Yeah.
know, it's crazy.
Yeah. Got to find ways to go outside of your bubble. There's
Yeah.
like Google like a movie that like has somebody who doesn't look like you in the lead, or like try and, you know, I don't know, representation matters too. And like I talked about this in one of the other interviews, but like Netflix shows me only people like me. Like you have to
Yeah.
actually look for
You have
new
to go
information.
to search for it.
Yeah. Okay, this is the last question.
Woo.
It's hard. I feel like this question is hard.
Okay.
What is the best thing about being you?
Oh,
Rough, right?
yeah, it's so rough.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Truly stumped.
Let me think about that. I'm like every other question. I'm like this immediately. This one. I'm like,
Well, maybe if it helps, like this is a safe moment to like just be conceited about it. There's got to be something that you love about being you.
there's got to be, right?
It's got to be.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. What is the best thing? I mean, maybe I'd say, I mean, I'm sure there's better things to say, but because we're just live, I think the best thing is that I have a platform to speak to people and talk about things that I want the world to be talking about. And like, that is such a privilege. I feel like it's a privilege that's changed a lot because the platforms are like, there's more people with them than there's ever been. Like when I first started doing social media stuff, because it was so long ago, I remember it being such a crazy thing that I had like 10,000 followers, like in 2014 or whatever. And I was like, yeah, this is wild. But like, it is crazy that I've spent so much time now being able to be like, this is what I think. And there is a platform of people that are like, oh, that's wild. And it was like, I think when like Black Lives Matter stuff started happening too, I was just like, this is crazy that I can speak about this, that I can talk about it at all. I am so privileged that like I have an audience to talk to about this. And yeah, I think that's definitely probably like the best thing about being me right now, I feel, is that I can say something and someone's going to listen. That's so nice. But yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really valuable and definitely cool that you recognize that as a privilege and are doing what you can to make it authentic and important and helpful to the state of the world. But I'm not going to let you get out of the second part of this question, which is also like, I like to make people do this because there's just got to be a physical attribute about your body that you carry around, just because like we're in such practice of hating on ourselves. Please celebrate one thing about your physical human.
Oh my gosh. Um, I think I have pretty hands.
I love that. Oh my God, I love talking about hands. What's going on? You don't have to show them, but you could.
They're okay. Although I have like a stain on my hand right now, so let's just look at this one. But they're just
From what? From crafting?
No, I actually have a self tanner that I like use on my face sometimes that spilled when I moved, and yesterday was all over my bathroom counter, and I cleaned it up, and obviously it didn't do a good job cleaning.
Amazing.
Because it stained me.
That's amazing. Whoops. I would feel so frightened to use self tanner on my face. I would definitely look splotchy as hell. So congrats on that.
You need to use this product. It's so easy. It's called Tan Lux. It's just like drops that you put in your own moisturizer, and you put like I put like one little drop of it, and you just like it just makes you look. I feel like I'm like deathly pale because of COVID. I'm like I need to be outside. Although I just moved into a new house and I have an outdoor space now, and so I'm very excited.
Congrats! Like, you're gonna be sunbathing in the mornings.
Yes, I'm coming to you live from my brand new house. So
love that. Congrats on having a house as an adult. That's amazing.
I mean, I rent it, so don't.
Well, yeah,
I didn't buy them.
You're like in your own space. That's cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
I really, really appreciate the hands thing. I actually, in the show that I'm in, this is actually, maybe I shouldn't say the anyway, hands are great. We love hands. And thank you so much for being on the show. That's the last question. I guess one thing I can say about hands is like, I also love my hands. They're like square and like, they're just really straight up, like I have the thumb of a 7-year-old boy.
Oh, I love that. That's
I feel so like my hands give me gender euphoria,
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's a good flex.
Thanks for doing this. It was really fun to hang out with you for a second. Let's like expand on it in real life.
I would love that. Thank you for asking me to be a part of this. It's awesome.
You did a great job. You're so cool. I'm gonna go binge your whole YouTube channel, and you guys should. Oh
my God. Yeah, maybe don't, but
you can send me like a playlist of your favorites that you want to see.
Okay, perfect. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. The daylight savings is fucking with me aggressively, and like feels very much so like 9:30 to me.
I have no idea what time it is. I'm in Miami, and it says it's at 1:35, but I still feel like it's 9 a.m.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
So you have a lot of day left, basically.
I have so much day left. I'm very excited.
Oh my God! Thanks for hanging out with me for your morning.
Of course. Have a great day.
Okay. Everybody say bye to Shannon.
Bye, everybody.
Are you? Oh, okay. Well, I'll say the goodbye to everyone while you're here. Oh man, people are. Okay, she left. Listen, everybody's yelling that Shannon should go back to YouTube. Let Shannon take a break. You know what I'm saying? Let her do her own thing. She's a great director. She's got to expand. Thank you for coming to 9 Lives. That was one of our 9 lives. And I'm going to leave you with an Eartha Kitt quote. Eartha Kitt quote. Cats have 9 lives, but you only have one. So buckle up for safety. And we'll see you on Wednesday with Tish Allen, a pro golfer. Can't wait. See you guys later. Shout out Lady Gun. How do I end this? Actually, I forgot. Bye.